The U.S. government is preparing an unusual but scientifically strategic solution to combat a dangerous cattle pest threatening to re-enter the United States from Mexico. Plans are underway to build a $750 million sterile fly production facility in southern Texas to mass-produce sterile screwworm flies. This initiative is meant to halt the spread of a flesh-eating parasite known as the New World screwworm, which can cause devastating losses in livestock. The screwworm fly lays its eggs in open wounds on cattle and other warm-blooded animals. Once the eggs hatch, the larvae feed on living tissue, essentially eating the animal alive if left untreated. This parasite was eradicated from the United States decades ago due to a long-running eradication campaign. However, the pest still exists in parts of South America and recently in Mexico, raising alarm because of how close it is to crossing the border again. To prevent a reinfestation, the U.S. Department of Agriculture has been working with Mexican authorities by releasing sterile male flies into the environment. When these sterile males mate with wild female flies, no offspring are produced, gradually collapsing the wild screwworm population. This new Texas facility will massively boost that effort by producing billions of sterile flies each week. The current sterile fly production happens mostly in Panama, but it's becoming insufficient for the scale of outbreaks seen in recent times, especially since warming climates and changing patterns of animal movements could increase risks. The $750 million investment reflects both the biological significance of the threat and the economic stakes. Cattle are a fundamental part of the U.S. agricultural economy, and an outbreak of screwworms could cause catastrophic financial losses, from mass cattle deaths to costly treatments and quarantines. The screwworm was eradicated from the U.S. by the 1980s, saving the livestock industry billions over decades. Officials consider prevention far cheaper and more effective than dealing with a full-scale outbreak. Building the new plant in Texas, near the border with Mexico, offers a strategic location to coordinate releases of sterile flies quickly where they are needed most, potentially halting the pest at the border before it spreads north. While the idea of breeding billions of flies may sound unsettling to the public, scientists emphasize that sterile flies do not bite, do not reproduce, and are purely a biological control measure. People generally won't encounter these flies directly. The science behind this sterile insect technique has been around for decades and has proven highly successful in pest control for various insects. The facility will likely operate with strict containment and quality control measures, ensuring that only sterile male flies are released in targeted areas. Some have raised concerns about the cost and whether it's the best use of public funds, but experts say that even a small outbreak in U.S. cattle could cost far more than the price of prevention. In addition, environmental advocates often support sterile insect techniques because they avoid pesticides, making it a more eco-friendly approach to pest control. If the program is successful, it could serve as a model for controlling other agricultural pests through biological rather than chemical means. In summary, the U.S. is investing heavily in a proactive biological defense strategy to protect its livestock industry from a deadly parasite that causes flesh-eating infestations in cattle. By building a massive sterile fly factory in Texas, the government hopes to stop the screwworm before it can take hold again, preserving both animal welfare and agricultural stability.